What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel where we talk about life and how to be super healthy at any age. Today, we're going to talk about the freaking incredible edible egg and why it can be such a huge, massive, tritungus, humongous no no for so many people. Now that we've got past the title, let's get to the juice. But before I really go there and why so many of you should not eat eggs, I want to remind you, I'm doing a challenge. I'm working on it now. I will announce the dates, when I get done with it, which is soon. And I'm gonna cover all three diets: low carb, high fat, keto, omnivore, and carnivore. So for those who are struggling with, it doesn't matter, high blood sugar, poor sleep, fibromyalgia, insulin resistance, uh, your hormones are hijacked, reproductive issues, allergy, SIBO, leaky gut, you name it, infertility, muscle loss, can't lose weight. Well, I'm going to cover freaking everything, including exercise and recipes and how to deal with things like your gallbladder and just pretty much everything and anything. Right now, I'm going in between the lines because we could talk about macros in 20,000 videos and we could talk about histamine, but I really want to break down histamine. So let's talk about the egg. Most of you who are doing carnivore have a histamine issue. Not everyone, but most people do. Most people have some kind of sensitivity to something, and the main culprits can be dairy, eggs, avocado. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't eat it. It depends on the person. That's why we don't follow your neighbor's cousin's uncle's daughter who lost 60 pounds on carnivore, and you're going to copy that, because we start off very similarly and then we branch off different directions. We damage our body through a thing called epigenetics. It could either be a good thing or it can be a bad thing, but in this case, a lot of you have developed an egg allergy because you have a wheat gluten allergy. The body has this thing called cross reactivity. And that means the brain cannot understand the difference between bread, rice, and often dairy. That's why a lot of you can't do eggs, because you were eating sandwiches and crackers and wheat cereal your whole life and pasta. And then you damage the microvilli in your small intestine. The whole small intestinal wall opens up, and now you don't know what's wrong. Like, you don't know what you're reacting to because you don't realize that the brain's like, I don't like wheat, and I don't like eggs, and I don't like butter, and I don't like avocado, and I don't like spinach, and I don't like cinnamon, and I don't like fish or bacon or sausage or aged meats or nuts. These are all super high histamine foods now when the gut wall has been damaged. But eggs, particularly, are so freaking high in histamine. And even more deep, it's the whites. It's the white of the egg. A lot of you guys already know this, but there's more. It's coming. The white it's all protein. It's all protein. The yolk is mostly fat and a little bit of protein. So this is where the brain begins to create a cross reactivity. It thinks that whole egg, the white especially, or the protein, is just the same as pasta. So some people just don't realize that they're having an allergy to eggs. Now the white is what the fetus is growing on, but it's also sort of a protective measure for the baby, or the yolk, the fetus growing through the protein on the outside of the yolk. And if you take like most animals or canines or wolves or coyotes or whatever, if they were to break into a chicken coop, they often will crack the egg and they'll lick out the yolk, right? They take all the amazing nutrition out of the yolk, and then they don't often consume the white, because sometimes they have issues with procreation when they're just trying to eat the whole raw egg. I've done this to a few dogs. Some dogs will eat the whole white raw, but a lot of dogs will just lick the yolk out, leave the white. Mother Nature knows. Like, it knows. Sometimes we need to stop using our eyes and use just the brain itself and use our sensibility to connect more with nature. But that's a whole nother freaking conversation. A lot of you guys, and the reason why I got this idea to do a video on eggs is because I want to go in between the lines of what you might find as obvious. The whole egg thing. So many of you eat eggs, and I actually prescribe eggs. Now there are certain gurus that have like egg white recipes, and I think I actually have one for tortillas. Yeah, you can have the whites as long as they're not consumed every day, every day, every day, and a lot of eggs. People are like, well, how many eggs can I eat if it's a whole egg? I wouldn't go over 3 whole eggs if you did that shite every day, which I don't suggest. And some people are having like 8 eggs because bodybuilders think that's a good source of protein because people are still afraid of red meat. Okay, well, let's keep going. Remember, the nutrition is in the yolk. The whites, no. I mean, you got protein, but it's the yolk. So the egg has 6 grams of protein. It's the protein that's irritating. 4 is in the white and 2 is in the yolk. But here's the thing. When you're eating eggs, because there's so much fat in relativity to the whites, that the digestive process is slowed down. So the amount of 2 grams of protein that comes in is not overwhelming the body as much as it would be pure whites or people doing a ton of egg white omelets and egg white muffins and all of this, which is not good for people who have histamine or a weak gut wall. Why am I not turning this off? Let's do it now. So, with that said, I thought I would do a video because you guys are trying to figure out what to eat. And a lot of you guys do the egg go to, and I often recommend egg yolks. Yolks, not really the whites, because they're so good as a night snack. They are easy to digest. You don't need all of this amylase and protease and lipase and all these digestive enzymes and caloric acid to break down eggs like you would steak. And that's part of the problem with the digestive system with a lot of you guys, being hungry before you go to bed, and then you're only dealing with 2 grams of protein rather than the 6. Okay, here's the thing. That's a huge, all of these things that just explained about histamine and eating whole eggs, that's a major, major problem. But it's also this. Take a look. Check that out. Okay, so look at those 3 eggs. Now, the center egg, which is the darkest in color, that's a pastured egg. That is not, it's just pastured. They're just eating like scratches. Some, like, they'll eat egg, chickens will eat seeds, they'll eat, food scraps, they'll eat meat, they'll eat bugs. So you can see that the middle one is a pastured egg. The left one on the left side with the dark egg shell is, and they also eat their own shells too, um, is the organic egg. The white, that's the soy fed freaking egg. And that's hormone injected soy fed egg. Okay. So the pastured egg, not just cage free, because that's the left one, the pastured egg that's able to forage and roam and really get what's just around it, which I'm going to be getting some chickens very soon. Very soon. The problem is a lot of you guys are allergic to the one on the left and the one on the right. But believe it or not, a lot of you have histamine intolerance. You'll tolerate more of the whites from a pastured egg than from the organic, free range or cage free, because cage free is not the same as pastured. And of course, the soy fed, which is the white egg. Try your darndest in this crazy world that we're living in to go and find people, or do it yourself like I am. And I'm gonna go get some egg laying hens. Go and try to find people who are actually just raising their own chickens, who are literally not feeding them soy because it's a cheap, easy food to feed them. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. One of the main reasons why most of you who are eating supermarket eggs that are just not, they're soy fed and they're not cage free or pastured, or cage free organic or pastured, you're eating that one with the white shell, and that's the one that really is fracking you up and making your blood sugar high. Now, I really suggest it's worth it to go and try to find people who are having and raising real, like, love chickens that are eating the right foods and not injected and not having all of this soy. And that's what we're talking about in this video. So, with that said, yes, you can have eggs, and yes, you can have all whole eggs, but I wouldn't have them every single day. Because if you have cross reactivity and you have a weak gut wall, if you have a great gut wall, have at it, but still be careful. If you have a strong gut wall, have at it. If you don't have histamine, have at it. If you don't know what histamine is, go check out my catalog of videos. I'm going to put in one huge like playlist. But yeah, most of you have an egg sensitivity and you don't realize it. And it can spike your blood sugar. It can block your keto adaptation in carnivore or high fat carnivore, or definitely keto. And it can just make you feel inflamed, joint pain, can't sleep, heart palps, irritation on the whites. Yeah. Hope this video helps. Get ready, my people. I am going to do a freaking challenge. I also do consultations. You can also check me out on Instagram at Stephanie Ketogenic. You can sign up. I have a course right now that covers all three diets. It's not the same thing as the challenge. The challenge is going to be, it's going to be a bomb. It's 30 days, $30 for 30 days. And you're going to get videos and challenges and course lessons every freaking day that cover all the diets, because not one diet fits all. Yes. Energy at 55 going on 56. It's crazy. Almost 16 years of doing this. And I'm learning myself each day. Be very careful not to just believe what anyone says. Do your due diligence, do your research. And in this crazy world that we're living in today, understand that all of that, like, I don't even want to go to the supermarket for food ever again. I'm done. I'm done. And I want to go more into grounding, but I think I'm going to do that as the next video. Why so many of you cannot sleep, no matter what you do. The fact that your bodies can't heal on a cellular level, and how rubber shoes are fracking you. It's a real thing. Like, people are like, how long is it going to take before my gut heals? Like, maybe never. Oh, and I forgot to mention with the eggs, with pastured eggs, it has double the amount of vitamin D, because you guys are D deficient. Double the amount of vitamin D, vitamin A, vitamin E, and omega 3s that people get in fish oil that oxidizes. Yes, my people. It's so much more nutrient dense when you get a pastured egg. So go look for them. And duck eggs are even less allergenic pastured than chicken. Look for that too if you guys have histamine to eggs. And check your pulse and your blood sugar 2 hours after eating eggs to see if it's spiking, if you don't go and get like a standard test. And I'm out. Life is good. And I'm so glad that the summer's here. And be smart, my people. Be smart with your life choices. And don't ever feel stuck, because you're not. Not in your job, not in your relationship, and not in your body. And everybody's body can hit their maximum physical, amazing potential if you believe it's possible. That's why I do these videos. It's not easy. It should be difficult, because if it's easy, somebody's lying to you. Nothing in life should be easy when you hit your major goal. It must be a challenge. And when you stick with it and stay disciplined, it will happen. Your weight loss, your gut to heal, your rheumatoid arthritis, your fibromyalgia, your whatever you're dealing with, your gallbladder. And more people I put on pastured eggs, like literally, oh my God, I can eat eggs again. And I'm out. Energy, energy, energy. Life is good. Bye, guys. Peace.